Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. Today we go to Texas, a track that I've had ups and downs at quite a bit, and hopefully we can have an upside race today. Now as we quickly go to the Xfinity Series though, we had Daniel Suarez in the car. Obviously he was set to go into the number 41 car before we got the opportunity to drive it, so we decided to maybe pay him back a favor and let him drive my Xfinity car, and he didn't have the greatest qualifying effort, but he certainly slowly worked his way forwards throughout this race. Now, as by the time he came to the midway point, he worked his way into the top 15 behind the 39 of Ryan Sieg there in the Lombard Bros gaming car as he came through turns 3 and 4, actually trying to get past Joey Gase, who looked to his inside, but he would continue to rally up just a little bit. By the time he came to the final lap, he ran up to the 12th position as he went down into turns 3 and turns 4. So certainly one of the better runs we've had from a driver this season. Now as he came out of turn 4 side by side with the 18 of Ryan Preece, as he would come through the trial across the line, Suarez would get us a 12th place finish as he just barely got edged out by the 18 of Ryan Preece. And certainly that's a good result for our team right now. We're still trying to rebound from falling off during the off season, so hopefully we can make that rebound fairly shortly here, maybe have a chance of getting this team into a playoff contending car. But now it's time to set our sights towards the Cup race, and the news came out that I might be running the Monaco Grand Prix this season on the same day of the Coca-Cola 600, but it all has to mean that we need basically the Coca-Cola 600 to have a weather delay, so we're going to be hoping for that to happen, and we will be driving for the Haas team if we can to compete in the Monaco Grand Prix. So we will be trying to attempt our own double. Instead of doing the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600, we're trying to do Monaco and the Coca-Cola 600. It takes about 13 or so hours to fly from Monaco to Charlotte, so we're going to try and make it happen. But now as we cut to the qualifying lap, we came across the line there with a 29.1 in the final session. We would qualify P7, so we're going to try and see if we can work our way forwards here in this race.
Hello, race fans. Today, the stars of the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series stampede into Texas for the running of the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500 at Texas Motor Speedway. In 2017, this 1.5-mile D-shaped oval received a Texas-sized overhaul when a new layer of asphalt was added and banking was reduced in turns 1 and 2 by 4 degrees. Let's head trackside to see if these drivers have mastered this new configuration. Time to go racing on PRN.
All right, we are ready to go green here in Texas Motor Speedway, a track I've had a lot of bad luck at in the past. Paul Menard has been struggling all weekend. We're going to see if the team can turn it around. That's the only noteworthy topic going into this race, is Joey Logano will lead us to the front, or to the green on the front row alongside the 18 of Kyle Busch. Now, as the green flag is out, we are underway in Texas from the 7th starting position on the inside. Brad Keselowski will come across the line to start this race here. Like I said, a lot of bad luck we've had at this track, so we're going to try our best to at least get a solid finish here today, as we want to shake this bad luck here, because we just can never seem to really perform very well in Texas. Last season in the playoff race we did half decent, but I think we maybe barely got into the top 10 by the end of the race. Now as we head down into turn 3, Stuart Haas, racing teammate of Clint Boyer, he gets down in front of me in that 5th position, as we would look to his inside though on the exit of the corner, trying to pass him to take that spot away and get ourselves into the top 5. And as we headed down into turns 1, we did get ahead of Boyer and just about cleared him to the center of the corner, getting just a little bit loose there, but it was nothing that was really uncontrollable, obviously, as we came down the back straightaway. The two Busch brothers battling side by side, and now what we've really seen with Kurt Busch going to this one car, he can really seem to contend with his brother of Kyle Busch in the number 18 Joe Gibbs Toyota Camry. And as we came out of turn 4, they still battle side by side just in front of me as we close in on the back of the 1 and the 18 through the trial. We're getting just barely out of the throttle for a split second now as we go down into turns 1, taking a 3 wide with the two Busch brothers as we come through the center of the corner and take them both to 4th position as we move into the top 3 now behind the 9 of Chase Elliott, who's had a much better start to the season than he has ever in my career mode. But by the time we came to lap 4, looking at his inside now, going down into turns 3 behind the leader of Joey Logano, who has had a stellar start to this season as he won 1 race last season, and this season he's already won 2, already doubling the win amount that he had last season. Now as we would still battle on the inside of Chase Elliott, he would clear me just about, but we can stick our nose just in there and get clear of him through the center of the corner. So we moved up to P2, certainly a great start in Texas, which I've never had before, and by the time we came about the midway point, of the stage. Logano actually started stretching out the gap a little bit to myself within the most recent lap, so we were starting to try and find something different, maybe try to run him down. And now as we came through to hit just 9 to go, we do start slowly reeling him in, and we would just continue to just creep in on the 22 of Joey Logano. By the time we came to lap 13, there you see the gap a little bit smaller now as Elliott continues to ride behind me. And I really felt at this point, me and Elliott both have faster cars than Logano, but Logano's just able to hold on to the lead. And by the time we came to just 2 to go in the stage, me and Elliott ran down the 22 of Joey Logano now as we approach the white flag in this first stage as we come out of turn 4, down the front straightaway, down through the triangle. The white flag in stage 1 is in the air. Logano tries to keep his stellar season here going as he tries to pick up the stage 1 victory as we come through turns 1 and turns 2 with Elliott just about a car length behind me as Logano moves up the track on the exit of the corner, and that builds up a run for myself going down the back straightaway. And we look to his inside going into turn 3, and we have a chance to steal the stage victory as we peek ahead just a little bit over Logano through the center of the corner. But Logano has a run off on the top side, and as we come down the front straightaway through the triangle, Joey Logano hangs on to the stage victory, and we will just come up just short here in P2 with Elliott in 3rd and Alex Bowman in 10th for your last stage point. Certainly a good first stage finish for us. It would have been awesome if we could have just picked up that one more position to get the victory. And as we would get ready to start the second stage, no one took 2 tires or anything, so we were able to come out still in the second position as the green flag drops, and we are underway here to start the second stage here in Texas Motor Speedway. As Keselowski's behind me, their teammate of Joey Logano in the 22 on my inside as we head down into turns 1 and turns 2. Logano's going to edge out in front of me. Obviously, the outside is terrible at this racetrack, so basically it's just a lost cause when you get up there. And we obviously got cleared by the 22 of Logano and the 9 of Elliott as we went drift back to P3 early on this first lap. And it would have been nice to hold on to at least second, but at least we're still here in the top 3 as we come out of turn 4. Elliott, like I said, I think he's certainly faster than the 22 of Logano, and myself, we're definitely faster than the 22 of Logano. I think if someone can just really just get ahead of the 22, I think you're going to really see the 22 of Joey Logano fall back. And now Elliott looks to the inside for a brief moment, but unable to get there now as we come down the back straightaway, looking to the inside of the 9 of Elliott as we head down into turns 3, trying to take that second position back away from Chase Elliott as we head down into turn 3, clearing the 9 for the position as we come out of turn 4 as Logano leads the way as we come through the triangle now as we cross the line to hit lap 3 in the stage. Kurt Busch now looking to the inside of Elliott behind me, so he's trying to take the position away, and by the time we came to lap 7, looking to the inside of Logano again. This time behind me we have our teammate Kevin Harvick as we come down the back straightaway side by side with the 22 of Joey Logano, but he would get clear, and now the 4 looks to my inside as we head down into the corner, and we just gave up a good chunk of ground as we lose a ton of momentum on the exit of the corner as we got cleared by the 4 and the 19, so we would drift back to that 4th spot. By the time we came to lap 18, just 2 to go on the stage, pretty much still riding in the same line, but Joey Logano had actually lost the lead and he had drifted backwards, so we were just kind of in line riding around for the last 8-9 laps or so. And by the time we came to the white flag in the stage, Harvick continuing to lead as, like I said, Joey Logano finally got past and he started drifting backwards as we came through turns 1 and turns 2. Truex on the back of Harvick as we come down the back straightaway for the final time in this second stage. Kevin Harvick, our teammate, has a win this season as we head down into turns 3 and 4. He wants to add at least another playoff point with the stage victory here in Texas as we come out of turn 4. Kevin Harvick will lead the way through the triangle. Harvick will win stage 2 and Truex second and myself third with Chase Elliott just behind me in that 4th position. Obviously we didn't get along with Chase Elliott last episode, nor Denny Hamlin, but we haven't really been around Denny to really do anything back to him. And you see Kurt Busch 10th there as Joey Logano, like I said, he would drift back to P8, so not a great finish for him, but certainly could have been worse. We would pit once again for 4 tires and 2 cans of fuel and get ready to start from P3 here on this restart now to start this final stage here in Texas, and the green flag is back out. We've certainly had one of the better Texas performances of my career here, so hopefully we can continue that for the last 39 laps. This is one of the more longer final stages, I believe, at the 1.5 mile tracks here on the schedule as as we head down into turns 1 and turns 2. Truex is going to stay on my outside as we try really not to make contact with him as we get very close, as he is only 1 bar away from being a rival. So really, if we just get into the back of him and maybe get him a little bit loose, he's probably going to become a rival. And we just about made contact there, and he likely would have been a rival if we would have touched. Now as we come out of turn 4 in that 3rd position, again just in front of the 18 of Kyle Busch as we head down into turns 1 and turns 2. Truex all over the back of Kevin Harvick as we come through the center of the corner. Harvick moving up the track just a little bit more than the 19 of Truex, but Truex is not able to make anything happen as we come down the back straightaway on the back of the 19 now, but not able to get to his inside as well as we head down into turn 3. By getting very close to his bumper through the center of the corner. Kyle Busch on my back bumper there in that 4th position as we come through the tri-oval to cross the line. It would be just 37 to go at this point in the race as we head down into turns 1 and turns 2. And by the time we came to lap 49, able to get to the inside of Martin Truex Jr. And we would come through the center of the corner, just about clearing him as we come out of turn 2. And we kind of chop his nose a bit just so we can get clear, because he probably could have had the momentum to stay on my outside. And once he got passed by me, he would start to drift back as he got stuck on that outside. Kyle Busch got past him, and a couple other cars that looked like might have had a chance to get past him as we came out of turn 4 down the front straightaway. And by the time we came to lap 55, running behind Harvick going into turn 3, still in the same position, but we did close in on the back of the Ford now, just about looking to his inside as we come out of turn 4. We might have a chance to win this race if we can keep up this performance as we cross the line. And as we head down towards turns 1 and 2, just 29 laps to go as we close in on the back of Harvick as he moves up the track again as we try to look to his inside through the center of the corner as we come out of turn 4 now, just behind him as he stays clear as we come down the back straightaway. So not able to get to his inside that time. And now as we head down into turns 3 and turns 4, closing in on the back of him once again, but obviously that time he protected the bottom, so I was unable to look to his inside as we came through the tri-oval to cross the line, still just behind the 4, and Kyle Busch just behind me as we head down once again into turns 1, trying to take the lead, but he's going to be very defensive of that bottom line as we get into the back of Harvick as we exit turn 2, now down the back straightaway just in front of Kyle Busch as we have a spin through the center of the corner, and it's Ryan Newman in the number 6 car as he goes spinning down towards the inside wall, and he collected Kurt Busch in the process, and obviously that brought out the caution, and we would come to pit road along with the other drivers. I knew the other drivers were taking 2 tires, so I would also take 2 tires. I was originally going to take 4, but I knew I had to take 2 if I wanted a chance. And actually, the AI would take no tires, so even 2 is really the best I could have gotten away with. I really felt like we should have taken 4. We've made a mistake of taking 2 in the past, but hopefully we're not going to struggle this time around as we cross the line. It is just now 24 laps to go here in Texas as we head down towards turns 1. And Kyle Larson just in front of me in that 7th position as Harvick continues to lead now as we exit turn 2. Harvick up front, and Hamlin now moving into the 2nd position as we have Joey Logano in the 22 who led early in this race just beside me as we head down into turn 3 as Keselowski now falls back just a little bit, allowing me to look to his inside as we come out of the corner. Larson with a slight check up there as I believe he might have gotten cut off as we come through to cross the line to hit 23 to go now as we head down into turns 1. Our teammate Harvick looks to get the victory here today in Texas now as we come through the center of the corner. Harvick leads off the corner now as we come out of turn 2, getting a little bit sideways now as we head down towards the inside wall, but fortunately we keep out of the wall now. Certainly I knew right then that we might be regretting taking 2 tires as the car was starting to get loose, just like it did here in the spring race. I believe it was last season or the season before when we took 2 tires on a late race pit stop and we lost control of the car, and I was certainly noticing similar handling features in the car right away, so I was getting very concerned, as you can see, getting loose again. So I know that we're probably not going to hang on to the car at this rate, so I was getting very concerned. By the time we came to lap 69, we were starting to lose the front 4 tires as we got up to P5 just in front of Joey Logano, but we were starting to really lose the cars up ahead as I was just trying to be really careful with this car as we head down the back straightaway in front of the 22. And as we head down into turn 3 through the center of the corner, the car starts to slide out from under me now as we lose control, hitting the apron, and the 22 hits me from behind as we head down towards the grass, and this has completely destroyed our race as we just are along for the ride at this point, hanging on, hoping that we don't slam into the wall now as we get out of the grass, and we would go down towards the inside wall, barely tapping it. The green flag would stay out, we would rejoin, but lose so much time as the AI would come through, and by the time we came to lap 72, running in the 38th position with 13 to go. It was just a lost cause now as we went down into turns 1 and once again losing the back of the car. And this time I was just along for the ride as we would go for a spin and bring out the caution late in Texas. And 100% our fault. It was a costly mistake taking 2 tires. Unfortunately, it worked here in the playoff race last season, but it didn't work. I think it was in the spring race of last season or the season before, and I decided to take a risk to keep our chances at a victory alive, and unfortunately we paid for it in the long run now as we find ourselves in 38th after running in the top 5 or even top 3 the majority of this race. And it was just a mistake on my part taking 2 tires, even though I felt like if we took 4 tires we might have been and not even with a chance to run our way back up to the lead. So who really knows, maybe I should have taken 4. Let me guys or let me know what you guys think I should have done, but obviously at this point I just ran up to the top line and just tried to gain whatever positions I could, and we would actually work our way back towards a top 20 position by the time we came to just 2 to go. Looking to the inside of Quinn Boyer, our teammate, coming to the white flag actually, now passing him for that 19th position, as obviously this just turned into a disaster of a race, unfortunately, as we went down into turns 1, and this track just doesn't really like to treat me well, and certainly something we need to work on coming through into the playoffs later this season. But as we came down the back straightaway for the final time on the inside of Bubba Wallace, as we head down into turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time here in Texas Motor Speedway now, as we will exit the corner holding on to that 18th position. It's going to be the first time this season we don't finish in the top 10, even though we've had some interesting luck so far this season. I think this is race number 7 or so, and we've already had quite some entertaining racing this season. Obviously, Las Vegas, we had some major trouble. Auto Club, we've run into some trouble. Phoenix, we got into it with Truex. Martinsville last episode, well, that was insane. And Martin Truex Jr. would win this race, so that would be his 2nd win on the season. So we now have 2 drivers with 2 wins, Truex and Harvick, who look to be maybe some early season favorites again.
It was a tough race. Hang in there. We'll get them next time.
Ray Evernham with some very wise words for us. Now, as we have some drivers who aren't the happiest with me. I'm not sure exactly what some of them are mad about, but Logano not very happy. But Alex Bowman comes in and saves the day and gives us a nice compliment at the end there. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be incredibly, incredibly appreciated. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch one of my videos. Next episode, we go to Bristol, another track that I've kind of had some ups and downs at. So I'm a little bit concerned. There you see the point standing. So we're going to see what we can do in the next episode at Bristol. So thank you for watching, everyone, and have yourselves a great day. See you in the next episode.